And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he stopped immediately there. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Jordan Reed has it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, this is Geis. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down is Smith. On the catch, it's Crowder. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And this is going to be Packer football. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And able to find Graham, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Caught left side by Cobb. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Breaking that one up, the former All-Pro Josh Norman.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And able to find Decker. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
That's fine. Yeah. Zoom.
Now Rodgers. Flush. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Tell me I didn't just see these first two possessions. I mean, is this one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do
better?
Maybe not better, huh? Worse? Yeah, just a little bit. Very sloppy start. I think maybe a case of the nerves for both teams.
And now we're back to an even playing field. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm up QB too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clay Matthews in there to get him for his second sack of the night. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On second down, here's Smith. And he's going to go down again. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Gabbard. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Reset, reset, reset. Hey. Got three. Three down. Reset, reset.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Now Thompson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Richmond.
Geis receives the pitch. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
47's the mic.
Now it's the backup Gabbard. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They run it here with Thompson. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Second down a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Out of the gun, Gabbard. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. On the ground, Geis. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Smith. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. The give is to Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort. We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They go play action here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
19.
A give to Jones. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Over here.
To throw is Rodgers. To throw on second down. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. Into the Redskins. Have it they do. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand This is the amount you have. Make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
They'll run with Thompson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. His defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll run it with Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Rodgers to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw is Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. This is Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now Jones. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
12. Ready.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Throwing on third down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a second and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. Rodgers now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's first and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's brought in by Eric Decker. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Here's Jones. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Cobb. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. They'll pitch it out to Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Jones, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They needed 14. They got 15 here on 3rd down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's fine. Yeah.
And they'll run it here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Move 58.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Oh, this is a complete mishit. It's no good. Didn't even get it there. And this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. On 1st down, Smith. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. How it's long distance now? Let's go to that play.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Let's go, 15.
A shotgun snap for Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Hey, gun.
First carry for Darius Geis. And he's got room. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. A deep ball for Dodson. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Set, line, 80.
Out of the gun, Smith. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Clay Matthews in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
319.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Hey, where I going?
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And he's got this down to the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football.